Namaste, Jai Bharat. Very strange thing happens in Pakistan's perspective, in their perspective, of course. The Foreign Affairs Minister of Afghanistan, the Taliban regime, is in Bharat. He planned some 5 days visit. I think it's now extended to 8 days or something. Now he has come for the first time, and Afghani Taliban leader comes to Bharat, but he was welcomed appropriately. Actually, what Pakistan planned with Afghanistan was very interesting. Pakistan initially helped the Taliban, this Taliban of Afghanistan, to come into power, and they were very sure that if they help Taliban, but Pakistan doesn't take Taliban very serious. They simply want to use Taliban for their ends, obviously nefarious, as they are getting always used to by America and China and whoever pays the money. Pakistan functions as a mercenary for hire kind of people, and they thought they would use Afghanistan like that. Actually, they should have known the Pathan's character. Pathans are straightforward, honest, upright people. They just have one word and then action following that. But Pakistani doesn't really, it's not a complete whole, Pakistan, one should understand that. When you speak of Pakistanis, we are only speaking of one community in Pakistan, who are the Punjabis. And these Punjabis have no identity per se originally, because the language for they speak is adulterated. They do not have their own script. Their script, if you want to see Punjabi written, come to Bharat or Punjab. And various others. They lost their religion, they lost their Sanskriti, they lost their culture, yet they think they are something, and which is obviously their foolishness. So whenever we speak of Pakistan, we are actually speaking of the Pakistani Punjabis who are neither Muslims, nor Hindus, nor Sikhs, nor anything. For them, the biggest thing in their mind or makeup is that convenience is criteria. If when I am benefited, I am anything, and I am for everything for my benefit, and this has to be endorsed in capital letters without doing any work. They don't want to work. They can't work. The Pakistani Punjabis can't work. Just diagonally opposite to the character of the Hindu Punjabis, the Sikh Punjabis, or the Punjabis of Bharat. They are popular for their hard work and their ability to earn what they must. They will earn through hard work. They don't go for shortcuts. Shortcuts are exclusively done by this Pakistani. So Punjabis of Pakistan have really nothing to do with the real Punjabis who are Punjabis in Bharat. So Pakistanis thought that this again Punjabis. Pakistanis thought that Taliban would listen to them. So when Taliban came into power, Pakistan was all telling that you put this man as this minister, that man as that minister, that kind of interference, and the Pathans refused, obviously. And then Pathans understood that Pakistan was trying to use them. And particularly to use them against Kashmir. They are occupied Kashmir. Now, the Pakistanis don't want to work. They don't want to sweat. So they thought they'll ask Taliban to fight for Pakistan occupied Kashmir against Bharat, so that Pakistan occupied Kashmir can join Pakistan or even Afghanistan. They don't bother. So they thought the Taliban would fight and they will get the benefit. So in short, Pakistan wanted to put the guns on Taliban's shoulder and fire. That's it, which did not happen. Taliban understood how treacherous Pakistanis are, how dangerous Pakistanis are. You cannot befriend this multi-color changing chameleon. So Afghans understood. And in the meantime, Bharat already had good relations established with Afghanistan, the people of Afghanistan. No matter who rules, that's secondary. The people of Afghanistan, this relation is very historical. Very, very historical. And the Punjabis of Pakistan would claim share in that because they were a part of Bharat once upon a time. But that's not very serious for Taliban. They understand, Pathans understand who is who and what is what. So, the historical relations exist between people to people. The people of Afghanistan always are very fond of people of Bharat and vice versa. There are stories, if you remember the story of Kavi Guru Rabindranath Tagore in English, who wrote very, very popular short story of Kabuliwala, which every child in Bharat must have still learned in schools. And such stories. And in the Hindi movies also, we have a lot of Pathans. And the Pathans are always shown for uprightness, honesty, straightforwardness, and single standard, not double standard. So, the relations go back and back in years and years, long years. And of course, prior to that, Afghanistan was culturally a part of Bharat. They were a Hindu nation before the Islamic invasion, etc., etc. When you go back, they are very intensely serious and meaningful relations with them. So it's very easy for the people of Afghanistan again to re-establish a relation which was never lost. There was no antagonism. People like us and we are people like them. Simple as that. So Pakistan is upset that Afghan foreign ministers come and discuss things with Bharat directly with our foreign affairs minister. And unfortunately for all people, including America, our foreign affairs minister, Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, is not an easy nut to crack. You just can't take him for a ride. You can't expect him to speak diplomatic rhetoric for continuously, which would ultimately mean nothing. He is not that kind of a person. He speaks to the point, and he speaks explicitly, leaving no room to doubt, and say things very clearly on the face for the people whom things have to be told in such manner. He has no hesitations. He is so confident and he is very bold. And no one is going to admonish him when he comes back to Bharat, so long as he functions with our policy of nation first. And nation first in capital letters is nation first for all of us. That's one aspect of the new Bharat, which has not started yesterday, which started quite some time back. Nation first. And if you think you can trace back the origin of nation first to Pujaniya Guruji, that Rashtraya Swaha Idam Namama. It comes from there. It's not a new phenomenon, but because it gets implemented into practical applicability quite recently, few years before. That's it. So, this is a story of Afghanistan minister coming to Bharat, and then they said a couple of things. One, where they explicitly said we share border. We share common border, and then the people are confused. How Afghanistan sharing border with Bharat? Yes, it's a fact. When Pakistan occupied Kashmir ceases to exist, we are right with Afghanistan sharing the border, and many other corridors also. This is a fact. And they invited the mining companies of Bharat to go to Afghanistan and look for their natural resources. The Pathans, the Taliban, did just on one principle, as I understand, as I read through. They trust in capital letters people of Bharat. They know we have never betrayed anyone in the history of our existence. We have never played with anyone's sentiments in the history of our existence. And Bharat's civilization and culture is well known to Afghanistan, and they trust us. They believe in our nobility. So they asked our companies to go and help them. That's a fundamental principle, the postulate upon which we work, on trust, faith, transparency, honesty, and these things which Pakistan don't have in their dictionaries. They don't have such things in the dictionary. So this is in fact a shock to Pakistan. And in their utter desperation, they start doing very funny things. Self-destructive, but they would understand it in time. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.